Hello, this is Matthew Rathbun, and I'm going to do a little bit of exploring today with you and using Trello for real estate. So Trello is a free tool. There is, of course, an upgraded option for business class, but I don't really even see where that's a huge benefit to what we're doing as a boots on the ground kind of agent. So I'm going to cover the free tool. And Trello is free to set up, as I said. It also allows you to download apps on your iPhone, your iPad, your whatever Droid system, whatever you're using. And it synchronizes task lists and assignments. And one of the most overwhelming things for agents, especially new agents, is remembering to do all the stuff that needs to be done. And as we go through different programs and classes, we find out the agents, it's just one more thing. How do I remember to do the one more thing? And I'm a firm believer that your organization carries over into your professionalism, into your presentation, into your self-confidence. So this is a tool to help you manage your self-confidence, your schedule, your life, and your day-to-day stuff. And it's incredibly easy to use. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer tutorial than most of the ones that I normally do. So stick with me, pause it, go take a break, come back, bookmark it, whatever you need to do to finish it up. So once you've signed up on the free site, you're going to log in, and mine's already got some set up on there, some different tasks. But what you're going to notice is that there are sections here in Trello for different assignments. So I have a household. This is my house, and we have a grocery list. And it's got candy and milk in there, and we're going to break down what these sections are. But I can share this with my family so that we all have the same understanding of what needs to be purchased at the store. My wife, and a little bit more complex of a board, is our assignment stuff. So things to do at the house, things that can be done just labor, things that take an entire day to do, a quick list of things you can do now, and you can see the list goes on and on. And so a lot of list building here can be done, and you can arrange them by priority or things. I have some for my school. I have a friend who shared a board with me. Again, very robust marketing things for the company, things. This is my church's classification or board. So lots of stuff to organize. When you log in, you're going to click over here in your name once you've created an account. Go to your profile, and do upload a good picture. Edit your profile for information that people can see, because when you start sharing this with clients, assistants, brokers, lenders, settlement companies, they want to see the picture there and your name and all those good things. You can also establish teams and such. So make sure your profile is set up. Go to your settings. Make sure your name is there. Pick an avatar. This is if you're not familiar, that's your photo. And make sure your password is good and secure. Notifications are important, so we're going to change notifications. I want notifications, for me, I want them instantly. Whenever there's a change to board, I've been added or assigned, or something's due, I want to know right then. And then again, you can add this to your mobile devices, and that shows you where. Don't worry about billing. You're not going to be using that, at least for what I'm intending for you to do, anytime soon. So you'll take a few minutes to fill that out. And you can always come back here to Trello. Is going to give you this dashboard where you're landing. And boards is going to give you a list of boards, and you can search by them. So if you're searching for just household, you can start searching and find that. Or if you're searching for Mr. Smith, the buyer or seller, you could do it that way. All right, I'm out of boards. And I'm going to add, we're going to start with creating a board. So I'm going to go create a board here, and we're going to call this the learning board. There's no team assigned yet. We haven't done that yet, but you can create those teams as well. And again, my teams basically are set up as different parts of my life that I'm managing. We're strictly, for this tutorial, dealing with your real estate clients for the most part. So we're going to just stick with that. So I'm going to stick with this board. I can go ahead and create a board. And this is going to be, again, the learning board for 1114. I'm going to hit create. And when I go to the board, I now have segments. And so I'm going to add, this is going to be my action list, things that need to be done. Okay, hit save. And then automatically creates another one, and this is in process, and they're being done. And this last one is going to be completed. Okay, and you can get as complex as you wish with these. We're just going to go with 3. You can create different ones later on. This is currently a private board, but I could share it with teams, or I can even make it public so everyone in the world could see this if they had the link I gave them to see different lists I've set up or tasks or assignments. I can make this available to teams, just people who have been assigned to teams, or I can make it, again, private. Now I have an action list, and then there are cards. So each one of these are categories. I'm going to add a card, and this first one's going to be Call Mom. Okay, I'm going to add card. And I'm going to click on this drop-down member here, and it lets me establish members, labels, or position. So I'm going to go to labels, and green, for instance purposes, will be immediate action. You can make these whatever you wish. Okay. So these are immediate actions. So this is going to be label. I'm going to choose green for this one. Okay, the little green there will tell you what it is, and I'm going to show you the real estate part of what I've done here in just a bit. Right now I'm just showing you the basic layout. So I've added this card, and now I'm going to go click on it again, and you'll see the little pencil shows up so I can do different things. And I can put a more extensive description here. So pretend for a minute that I'm assigning this to my assistant to do a certain action. So I'm going to say call mom and gather information about what she would like for her birthday. Okay, hit save. Here I'm going to add a comment. Just assign this to a assistant for testing purposes. And when I hit save comment, it'll start adding comments down here so that anyone else who is sharing this list is going to be able to see the history, and they'll be able to leave comments as well. They can also attach files, and I can grab that file from my computer, Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, or OneDrive, or a link to a PDF or document that's somewhere else out there in the world. So I'm going to go to computer. I'm going to go to room measurement. I want the room measurement doc here. I'm going to hit attach, and now that PDF is attached for whomever's getting this list. I can also go to, I got labels already set up. I can give it a due date. This needs to be done by the 19th. I've done attachments. I can move this before boards. I can copy it elsewhere. I can subscribe to it. Those are things that are a little bit more advanced that we're not going to be doing right now in this video. All right, so now I've completed this particular task. Right, so there's call mom. I can look here and see there's one comment, there's one attachment. It's due on the 19th. And because I've already started that, that's fine. I can assign now members. I'm going to add members to the team. So I'm going to add Jennifer. Jennifer is my assistant. She's actually my lovely bride. I'm going to ask her. I'm going to add her here as this assigned to this task. She's going to pretend to be my assistant for this particular session. I'm going to change the background too, just because I don't know. I just feel like calling mom should be red. I don't know why. And then I'm going to click on something called power-ups. Again, there's a lot of features here, and some of these we'll use later. Right now, we're going to stick with some basic stuff. But power-ups is pretty basic. And power-ups lets me enable calendars. And we're going to talk about what we do with those in just a bit. So make calendars available. And then I'm done with this. All right, so I've set all this up. Now I need to assign the person who's going to complete this task to the task. So I'm going to grab Jennifer's little avatar here, and you can see I can move it all around. I'm going to drag it over here, drop it on top of this card, and now this card has been assigned to Jennifer. I can also assign myself to it. Both of us need to call mom. And I'm going to edit this in case my wife is up right now. I'm actually on the West Coast doing this at 9 p.m., so it's midnight there. I hope she's not on the computer right now. This is for webinar demo. So she knows not to call my mother. All right. Okay, so now we have Call Mom webinar demo, and I've already assigned everybody here, assigned it to her. So when Jennifer goes and logs into her Trello account, which is again free for her, she can say, all right, I got this. And she can simply drag and release it to in process. And now both of us looking upon this board will see what the status is of that particular card, that assignment or task under in process. And then when it's done, we move it over to done. We can always go back and edit it. We can copy it to another board and make a new one of the same thing. We can move it without copying it, add or change different members, change the color of the label, change the due date, or simply delete by archiving it. Now, if this board was more active, I could go to hit calendar, and I'm going to see now a calendar for the month, and I'm going to see all my cards that are due for that month. So let's go ahead and take a look at a more active board. So I'm going to go back to the Trello homepage I have here, and you can see now under my boards, the learning board we just created is right here at the top. I've also created what's called templates. Now templates are no different than the other board. So I'm going to create a board, and I'm going to create a bunch of tasks to be done. So I'm going to go into post listing. We just got the listing. And you can see I've already created a list of all the things that I do as soon as they've signed the listing documents. I'm going to enter it into the transaction room. I'm going to add the seller to transaction room. I'm going to send a your listed email letting them know what to expect next now that they're listed. I'm going to order and schedule photos, a video, lockbox, place a yard sign, etc. Now for my intents and purposes here, I have already added under take room measurements, I've done an attachment of the measurement worksheets. This is a PDF that is used to write down the room and style and area and carpet and what size it is and all that. I've also pre-assigned by color who is to do what. So green is going to be my job and yellow is going to be my assistant's job. And so I've got a pretty extensive list here of things and cards that I've added. Now I have added this under the team, under the group, templates. And so I know that these are the templates I always work on. If at any point in the future I decide, you know what, there's additional things I want to do for the listing. I want to add send handwritten thank you note. Click on add. And then I'm going to click out here, and that's always going to be on that template from now on. The way we use templates is we go and open up the template. So mine is post listing. I'm going to go to show menu, scroll down here to more, and I'm going to copy this board. And when I click on copy this board, this is going to be John Smith seller. I'm going to put demo there so not to confuse them with actual clients. And under the teams, I'm going to take them out of templates and I'm going to put them under the client board, the client team. And I'm going to hit create. Right? I have not modified my template. I have instead created a second board. So my template's still here. It stays the same. It's untouched. It is the, again, it's the template. We're going to copy that. We made it a client board, and I'm going to go into client board now. And I'm going to go back to show menu. I'm going to add my team. So we're going to add Jennifer. We're going to add Arlene. And we're going to add Angel. Okay, so these 4 individuals now are on my team. And for the intents of this session, Jennifer will be my assistant, Angel will be the loan officer, and Arlene will be the settlement attorney. Now I know, because I've already pre-done these templates, in the templates, the color ranking here, I know that everything is yellow is what Jennifer's going to be assigned. So I'm just going to drag her little avatar over here and pre-assign those to her. I'm going to go, and the green ones are mine. Again, this is a demo, so I would have went through and done colors with all of these, but I haven't. And let's say I have whatever the responsibility is, and we're making these up. Let's say the home warranty is actually going to be the loan officer's job, And adding listing expiration to the calendar is going to be our attorney's job, because you know that always goes over well. All right, and you can see over here I've got now a history under the activity of all the things that need to be done. Now I'm going to go back through here, and because you can't do this in a template because those dates are all over the place, now that I've got John Smith the seller with a listing agreement, I know there are certain things that need to be done. So I'm going to assign, when I click on the card, I'm going to go and say due dates. I want to do this by the 21st. I want Jennifer to get this done by the 22nd. All right, and you can see the little dates have shown up here. I want Jennifer to get this one done by the 24th, and so on. I'm going to go back here to mine where it says add lockbox, and I want that done pretty darn quick. So the due date for that is going to be the 20th. I hit save. Okay, so now that this has been all set up, I'm going to go to calendar, and when I click the calendar, I can see just my tags or everybody's tags of what needs to be done. And so I get a nice calendar view of what's coming up. So today is actually the 14th. I'm here. I see that I have a week to get the lockbox added and the listing into a transaction room. Now, when this gets done, so I've entered this into the transaction room. It's in process. Sometimes, especially for something like that, I'll just go, that's my action item. I'm just going to move over to complete. And I'm going to move this. Oops. I'm going to let them know that this is done. Okay. So added to DTR. All right. And it's done. I don't need to worry about it anymore. It's all complete. And I can take the due date off if I want to. All right, so that's my board. That's how we take those long and lengthy transaction things we have to do to add it, and I can go and add to the board a new one. So let's say this is a unique seller, and this one we need to order a special sign. Okay. So the order a special sign, we're going to go back over here to show menu. We're going to go find our team members. This is going to be Angel's job. So we're just going to drag and drop her onto this. And we're going to say we want that due by tomorrow. We hit save. Now I'm done. Okay. And when Angel goes and sees that, she's just been tagged in this, she can go over and put it in process and say, okay, I'm in the process of designing the special sign and ordering it and doing all the things she needs to do. And we can add notes. And we'll see the history there. Or I can assign the graphic that I want to use. Okay, whatever I want to use, I can just assign it here. And I can put as many as I want on here. I can keep adding attachments to this so she has the artwork that she needs to do. All right? And then we're done. So now, I'll go back to my calendar and I can see who's got what ordered by the labels, when it's due, and I can even look ahead and just click on the card and see what's been done, what status it is. The information is back and forth. All right? This is a great task list feature here. Now, there's some additional help for you. So I'm going to go back into my show menu, into my power-ups, and here's my calendar, and I want to see show details right now. Okay, so here's my screenshot. It tells you what it's about. And I want to go into settings, the little gearbox. I'm going to enable what's called iCalendar feed. And it's going to give me a unique URL. I'm going to take that URL, and everybody has different calendar systems, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going through how do you add it to every single one. I'm going to go to one of the most common, which is Google Calendars. I go to my Google Calendar, and I'm going to add, go to my calendar, other calendars. I'm going to add by URL. I'm going to take that URL I just copied from the old board. I'm going to add calendar, add to the calendar, and now I can see right here, and right here what's been assigned to who and what needs to be done. And I've added that calendar to that list now. Okay? Right? And you can see all the assignments that have been done on that calendar. And then you can go ahead and delete that when you're done, when the transaction is done. All right? And so I've got these boards here, and the checklist I can go and add, I can modify, I can change things, and when it's complete, so John Smith is done, the transaction's over, I'm going to go in here, go to more, and I'm going to close the board out. Okay? And it's closed. I mean, it takes it off the list, but I can actually go back and reopen it as a future date if I need to go check and see when things were done and moved over. So each morning you can log into Trello and see where you are in the transaction, what needs to be done. And if at some point, so let's say we're ratified, I got a long list of things we do when we're ratified for buyers and sellers, and we realize, okay, I need to start following up every Friday or whatever day, I can go ahead and click on add card and say this is my follow-up card to remind me that once a week I need to follow up, or we need to call the HOA because there's some problem. I can add the card here and come back and do it when I'm sitting down working on this, or I can assign it to an assistant or task project manager for that closing. So that's the real down and dirty of Trello. Now again, you can get really crazy with this. So I've got my client board here. I want to change the background so they all look different, or I want purple for my buyers and green for my sellers. I can filter the cards as to just, I just want to see the green cards or the yellow cards I've set up. And again, you can do a couple other things that are pretty neat, but I didn't want to go too deeply down the rabbit hole in all of these boards and things. You can get like stickers and say, okay, I completed this, and just assign that one there so it sees the nice sticker. But again, I don't want to go too nutso on these boards. So there's lots of other little features. These are the ones that I think are most applicable to what we do as real estate agents in the boards. So again, the secret is you create a template down here. And creating a template is really nothing different than creating a board. It's just one that in the future you're not going to use for a particular client. Instead, you're just going to copy it to use. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to email me or reach out by any of the other social online tools. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day.